What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Random Redshirt Podcast. I am Zach, one of your hosts, and with me, as always, is the other host, Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hello, Zach. Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Zach, we have a wonderful show today for us,
We
don't we?
sure do. Yeah. And if this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. We're just two nerdy guys who love talking everything sci-fi, including Star Trek, of course. Our podcast namesake, the Random Redshirt who always dies on an away mission, and pop culture. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. This is our season 3 finale, and we have an absolutely unbelievably special guest with us to wrap up season 3. We are honored and delighted to have with us the amazingly talented and wonderful Tracee Cocco. Now, if you have never watched, or if you have watched Star Trek, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, then you have seen her, and you may not even have known it because she's everywhere. She's all over the screen. She's everywhere on Star Trek. She has actually been in over 100 Star Trek episodes. She's known for many roles, specifically her role as our favorite lieutenant, Lieutenant J. And as she's also been in Star Trek Generations, First Contact, Insurrection. She was on Baywatch, Barbwire, Demolition Man, and so much more. She's an absolute treasure who loves her fans, and we love her too. Tracee, thank you so much for joining us here on the Random Redshirt podcast.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. This is fantastic. And by the way, random red shirt, right? Yeah, I wore it during the movie, got blown out of my chair, and I lived.
Yes, yes. You are one of the few who have lived, Tracee. So
Yes.
we're interested to hear as we go along what it took to survive time on a ship on Star Trek without dying as wearing a red shirt.
You know what? I have no idea, but it's almost like you can't kill me. I mean, they try, but they didn't. I mean, I've worn every color. I think I'm the only one that's worn every color. And like you said, I've been in over 100 episodes. Michael Westmore gave me the opportunity to play 15 different aliens, which I think I have the record for, at least for a female, on Deep Space Nine and Voyager and TNG as well. I think I played an Antikin on TNG. I can't remember if it was, TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then I was, in all three of the movies. God, it's just been great for me. And then, getting a name, it made it like crazy. And I have like a cult following, and it's really cool. And I love all my fans. I love Comic Cons, to go and meet new people and see old people, old friends and fans. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So I appreciate everything, and I'll never forget it. So,
Well, we appreciate you, Tracee, because it was actually interesting. So we were doing some research on you last night in preparation for today, and there was a particular website. I don't remember the name of the website, Chris, that had some information about Lieutenant J. And I was like, I don't remember that. Let's go back. So we went back and looked, and we were watching some different clips on YouTube. And one of the ones we watched was like a tribute video, and it had all these it was tons of scenes of you walking in and standing there.
yeah,
Yeah.
to the song "Got Brass in Pocket" by the Pretenders, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was great because we're like, no, there she is again. There she's again,
Yeah.
and whether we knew it or not when we were younger growing up, you were everywhere. And sometimes we knew it and sometimes we didn't because you were all over the ship and especially on the bridge.
Oh, especially on the bridge. But then when we went to 10 forward, I was always Patrick State. But then then a couple fans posted on the there's a Facebook page called J Spotting, and it's really growing, and it's so cool. It's like you guys are watching the show, right? And then you see me, you take a screenshot of it and post it on J Spotting. It's been fantastic. But come to find out, I guess I got around because I was number one state, Wharf State, and Patrick State. So every time they go into 10 forward, I'd wear that turquoise outfit of mine with the purple pants, which was a hit. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
We
Well,
we
Worf and Riker and Picard all had good taste in their dates.
They
yeah.
sure did.
We realized yesterday that you're the glue that held the entire crew together. You're the glue of the ship. Yes.
I am. And I've been so trying, and fans are trying to get me on either the new Star Trek, shows coming out. I really, really, really wish they would have called me for the Picard thing, because I think I earned it, but oh well, maybe things are coming bigger and better. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, in the world we live in today with streaming services, there's really an endless possibilities of future Star Trek shows. And who knows, maybe we'll get Lieutenant J in a future show, or maybe you'll be able to come as an alien. I mean, who knows? We may be able to get you on there somehow.
Or I can have my own show and ship, or, hey, I could be Section 31 with everything I've been doing.
You know what? What's funny is Chris and I just talked about the idea that we should pitch to Paramount, or somebody probably already has, about them having a streaming show called Section 31. And it's all about that.
Yes, you should. Hey, any help I can get, you guys, I appreciate. So
that would be great. Well, Tracee, real quick, I want to kind of start from the beginning. Tell us how, you did modeling when you were younger, and of course acting and stunt work. So how did you get into modeling? What drove you to become a model and an actor, and specifically a stunt person?
Well, how it all started, let's see. I was working in California. Well, I live in California, but I was working for a company called Cinesalo in Irvine, California. And they, I don't know if they're still in business or not, but back in the day, anyway, they were a motocross clothing company. And I was the dealer representative for the whole Midwest territory. Well, one day, the owner came up and said, hey, we're having a catalog photo shoot, but the model didn't show up. Can you fill in? And I'm like, okay. So that's how kind of I got started in the modeling. And then one thing led to another. And I did a lot of print work because I'm not really tall. I'm like 5'5". So, but the print work was great. And then, then I went out, one night to a club in Long Beach, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and this woman just kind of said, she's from Central Casting out in Burbank, and said, hey, have you ever thought of getting into the movies? I'm a casting agent. And I'm like, no. And she goes, well, here's my card. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, shouldn't I? So I did. I called, and then she got me like a lot of stuff. And my very first movie was Gross Anatomy with Christine Lottie and Matthew Modine. And I play a medical student in the movie. And the Christine Lottie ends up, I believe, dying because she has lupus. Well, come to find out down the road, I'm diagnosed with lupus. So I try to do a lot of things for the lupus stuff. It's a crazy thing. And then I was on the lot doing that. I think we filmed at USC. Then I got called to be on Baywatch. And I was like, whoa. So they had me as a regular lifeguard. The very first, when it first came out, got my red, outfit. I still have my red lifeguard jacket. That led to like great things. And then they got canceled. So then after they got canceled, I got a call to do another 48 hours with Eddie Murphy on the Paramount lot. And that's when they had me doing a stunt in heels and wearing a mini skirt and heels. That's so not me. Jumping over a table in a bar fight. Well, Mary Howard from Paramount Star Trek saw me. She was on the set and said, you need to come up and talk to I don't know, I'm calling the suit people. Anyway. So I went up and met everybody. I went and had an audition, and a lot of the people that were there for the audition were like, oh, you're not tall enough, just trying to pop my happy bubble. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I went for the audition, and all I remember is walking into the room, and it was a long, long table, and all these like important people are on the table looking at you when you walk in. And then they have you do like shakes, like, okay, like we're gonna get hit, the ship's getting hit from the left, shake, 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 hit from the right, shake, and obviously I guess I did that right, because I got called back again. And then they said, you got a spot. Yeah, it was I started out as a background person. It was great for me. Background people are great. Hey, if it wasn't for the background, they can't make a lot of stuff. So yeah, I started out as a background, and they put me in the black and gold outfit, which I did not know at that time was the best color to be because it does control two things on the ship. So then I go to wardrobe, get in, da 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 da, and then I started out as an ensign. I think I started out with one pip. I don't think I didn't have any. I think I started out with one pip. Well, then as time goes by, blah blah blah, they had me on the bridge all the time, so I knew every week the bridge filmed 3 days a week. So if it followed on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I knew that I'd be working 3 days a week on the bridge. So then wardrobe came to me again and said, hey, we want you in a scene for 10 forward. That's where my turquoise outfit and purple pants came in. And then they had me as Patrick's date, and I'm like, wow. And I mean, just, the great opportunities. And then that's when Michael Westmore came up and said, hey, I usually give this alien to men to do, but I wanted to give it a female a try to see, what a female version can bring to life for this. Basically, most of the aliens are on, they're on a shelf, or, some of them are more intricate, but you basically bring it to life. So I call it the wolf dog because to me it looks like a werewolf anyway. But I believe the real name for it was dog face boy. I'm not sure, but anyway, I had like a prosthetic in my mouth, so when I bit down, my snout would do that. Great outfit and all. And the best story for that alien, my very first one, was I took a break and went out to the backstage door into the Paramount alleyway. And at the time, Sharon Stone was there in her trailer doing the movie Sliver. Okay. I love her. Anyway, I'm out having, my bottled water, chit-chatting with people in this Antikin wear. And oh my God, she comes out of her trailer in her terry cloth robe and beelining for me. And I'm like, oh my God. Can I cuss on here? No. Anyway, I was shaking in my boots, but loving it, right? So she comes right up to me and was like, so close. Loving the makeup, wanted to, just totally know how I, got it on and what's it like and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, well, what do you look like underneath all that? Well, it happened that day. I gave the security guard 8x10 picture of me signed. He goes, this is what she looks like. And Sharon Stone was like, oh my God. She goes, you're so pretty. Why do you want to cover your face up? And I said, well, for one, the money's good. And for two, I like it. And she's like, oh my God. She goes, how would you like to come to my wrap party for Sliver? And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. And so she goes, and I'll give you like 3 of my guys that they're my bodyguards, but I have enough already. So I'll give you them to walk in with. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, yeah, I did go. I didn't really get to sit with her because obviously she's Sharon Stone, but I was like, oh my God. So one thing led to another. And then Michael Westmore ends up giving me, I'm not even joking. I mean, I couldn't even have more that I don't even know of because some of them I wasn't credited a lot for, but he gave me like 15 to do. And there was one I did. It was on Voyager and it has a forked tongue and they put contacts in my eyes, has a ponytail and has like giraffe spots all over my arm and my hands and stuff. And anyway, that took like, my call time for that alien was like 3 a.m. and I had to sit in the chair 6 hours, 6.5 hours. And yeah, and Michael's yeah. So anyway, Thomas Supernet did that. And he's great too. He's won some awards for his makeup. Him and Michael are just crazy. Crazy good. So I sat in the chair and then thank God my scene was right after I got done. So I went from 3 o'clock in the morning till about like 9 or 9:30 in the morning, got out of the chair, went in, did my shot and was in and out of there and home by like 12:30 in the afternoon. Where sometimes, do aliens or whatever. And I wouldn't get home till like, late at night, but I never really hit traffic. So that was one good thing because my call times were always early. And then when I got done, I missed the traffic coming home because I didn't live in LA. I would commute, but yeah. And then the movies, I mean, and then God, the first movie Generations, I wasn't really supposed to be in that chair. It was a fluky, weird thing. In the script, whoever was supposed to be sitting in that chair was supposed to die. Well, Jonathan Frakes came up and said, "Hey, I know you can do stunts. Have you ever done like explosive work?" And I'm like, no. And he's like, "Well, would you want to?" And I'm like, yeah. So he's like, "Okay, you're going to get fitted for that. You're going to be wearing the red. You're going to be flying the ship and you're going to get blown out of the chair." And I go, "Okay, I have a question." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Well, I know you guys are going to be coming back with other movies. Can we have me not die?" And he's like, "We can do that." I'm like, ah! So that's how that happened because I was supposed to die, but he changed it for me.
Yeah. And so you came back in First Contact and Insurrection.
Yes, I did. And I was Alice Krieg's stunt double as the Borg queen. I came in one day, they called me in and fitted her arms on my arms. And I'm if you watch the movie, when she grabs his legs, those are my arms. And then just little weird things like the episode Rascals, where they all turn into kids. I was on the bridge on there. The Ferengis come in. We're on the floor, blah, blah, blah. Well, then I'm Patrick Stewart's hands as the little boy. When he goes on the computer, they called me in to be his hands. I guess I have little boy hands. I'm not a foo-foo girl. I don't have like long nails, so I don't know.
That's great. Oh my gosh. Your career has been filled with what it seems like right place, right time.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. And then for the Demolition Man thing, I was supposed to be in the dinner scene with, Stallone, and a big scene. I got fitted in this great outfit with a cat. I mean, I looked really cool. And the director's girlfriend says to him, I want to wear that outfit. And so they kicked me out of it. So I'm like, well, that's just screwed up. That's I go, okay, well, I know you guys are going to be filming a lot of cops. Can I be a cop? I've played cops before. So they're like, yeah, yay, another win. So we were cops in LA, downtown near the jail. So I got to be a cop. Well, then Paramount had me dressed as a Borg because I've been the drone Borg and the regular Borg. So I've been two different kinds. They had me dressed up as the regular Borg with all the pipes, blah, 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 for a convention here when it was called Anaheim. I think it was in Anaheim Convention Center, and promoting their pinball game. So I'm as a Borg promoting the pinball game, get another tap on my shoulder, turn around, and it's this guy from Williams Bally Midway who make a lot of the pinball games around everywhere. And they're based in Chicago. And he's like, "Hey, I'm the designer for pinball games, and I'm going to be coming out with one for Demolition Man. I really like your voice. Would you like to be the computer voice in the pinball game?" I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh, he's kidding me. No, they flew me out, did the whole thing, had to learn like a lot of technical jargon, like Brent Spiner had to learn. Like it's just, and so I had like 8 pages of it. They didn't have a teleprompter. I as a matter of fact, Brent Spiner, I asked for his, like, wanted to know, how do you remember all this crazy wording and stuff? And he said, well, what I used to do was put it on a tape recorder back in the day and listen to it over and over and over. So I did that, and it helped me out a lot. And to this day, I think I just ran into him. Where was I at a convention? Him and Gates were there anyway. I can't think right now. But I ran up and thanked him again, and he's like, "Oh God." He goes, "Yeah, no worries." So I got all the jargon done with the pinball game there, and I'm dressed in my cop outfit. Well, back in the day, I don't have like a manager. I'm basically it. So I didn't know at the time when they asked, like, how much do you want to do this? I had no idea. So I just threw out a number and they're like, okay. And I'm like, oh, well, come to find out, I could have said, I'll take this much. And also, can I have a game? Which darn, because I could have had that right now, like, I don't know, in a club, making money. I don't know. So, yeah. So if you play the pinball game, it's my voice talking to you. It's kind of crazy.
Which I've played that game a lot, and it's great.
So
I love that pinball game.
So then you heard me say, like, you have one ball left.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh yes, that's great. Oh my goodness.
Ramp explode mode activated. Yeah.
That's awesome, Tracee.
You're turning red. You're turning red.
I am turning red because I can visualize it playing the game. I can visualize your voice. If that's the thing. I don't know how do you visualize somebody's voice, but I'm visualizing it right now.
Oh no. Well, on YouTube, you can see it. It's hysterical. It's called the Demolition Man pinball game promo. It's on YouTube. Okay. And when I usually have a panel to do, like at a convention, I usually try to see if they can play that one that the tribute to Lieutenant J one, which is just so great. My friend Chris Dale from the UK made it for me. He's a fan friend. And that one's fabulous. That's on YouTube. But so is Demolition Man pinball game. So when I play it, like for a panel, I'd have to like kind of warn, the place, because little kids, if they're in there, the game gets cut. They had me doing some crazy things. Like, you got to check it out and then message me and let me know what you think, but it's hysterical.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to. Absolutely.
Okay.
Wow. Those were,
I like your shirts.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. We have some shirts. If you ever want one, let us know. We'll get you one.
I want one.
All right. We're going to get you one. Especially because, I mean, you're a red shirt who has survived.
Yes, I have. Do you happen to have, I like them bigger. So do you happen to have a large or extra large? Because I like them.
Yeah. So my neighbor custom makes them to order. So I can have her make whatever size one you want.
Okay. Thank you. That
You're
would
welcome.
be awesome. I'll
Absolutely.
wear it at my next con.
There you go. Awesome.
There you
awesome.
go. See?
We'll all be on the same crew.
Yay. Hey, are you guys going on the cruise?
I wish.
Is there a cruise?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's early next year.
Star Trek cruise in February. It's over my birthday. It's I believe February 28th to March 3rd. It leaves out of Long Beach, which is great, so I don't have to fly anywhere. But the only way, I've been trying, to get on those too, and they're just, I don't know what it is. They just don't, I don't know. But I've been trying, fans have been trying. So a nice angel fan friend called me up and said, you're going. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I'm giving you my extra room. And I'm like, what? So I thought he was kidding. And he's not. So I'm going, and I'm going to have fun, and I'm not going to be on any schedule, and I can hang out with all my fans. And I've never been on one. So I'm like, kind of like, I don't know. Yeah.
Bring lots of sunscreen.
Oh, I will. Lots of sunscreen, and try not to drink a lot, because I hear their drinks are great. And then I did book a excursion to swim with dolphins. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do something fun. And yeah. So
That's great.
yes.
Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing.
They have the cruises, I believe, every year. But
Nice.
most of the time you have to fly, like, I think, to Florida and then get on the ship. But this time it's leaving out of the port of Long Beach. So it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is really, thank you for sharing like everything you did. It was pretty incredible story how you got involved and how you got involved with Demolition Man and Star Trek and got to meet Sharon Stone. Like, were you, like, growing up, were you a sci-fi fan at all, or a Star Trek fan, or did you like any science fiction?
Oh, I love sci-fi stuff and movies and stuff. I did watch the original, Star Trek, but not a lot. And then I didn't know what I was getting into when I got on Star Trek. I just was like, oh, okay, I'm getting on being an actor, you're like, okay, I got a gig, I'm going to be on a show. And then it turned into like, wow, the best thing of my life. So
Yeah.
I mean, I go out sometimes and people are like, look at me, like, and I know they're going to ask me, like, their next question was like, were you on TV or blah, blah, blah. And I don't usually come out and go, hey, I'm Lieutenant Jay. You know, no, I let them kind of ask me things and then I answer them. But I have so many people like freak out. Like I was just at a red carpet, right?
Yeah.
For the Children's Hospital, the St. Jude's and in LA just recently, and a girl, little, you know, actress came up to me that was there with her mom, and her mom was like, my daughter loves you, and oh my God, she wants to meet you. And I'm like, well, we're okay. And so here she comes, and the look on her face, that's why I do what I do. It made my heart so happy. She was shaking so bad. I'm like, oh my God, don't come here, get me, let me give you a hug. She's like, no way. And I'm like, oh my God. And you know, I've been doing this for like a long time, and I'm not gonna give up. Like every time I go on Twitter, I tweet Jonathan and tweet like kind of other people that I think maybe see the stuff. And he's liked my stuff. I just saw him too in Vegas. And he that video, I know you guys have seen it, the blooper of him chasing. Oh my God.
We just watched it again. I've seen it before. Chris just watched it for the first time last night. And it's all over the internet and it's fantastic.
It's so freaking funny. And
do you remember that day? Like, do you remember that happening and then and how that all transpired?
I remember that happening, but I never knew it was going to be turned into what it is now. Oh my God. I saw like the likes or whatever they call it. It's like a lot. And he came up, and the stupid thing with me is in Vegas, when I came up to his table, I was waiting because he was, you know, kind of busy and and he saw me and he gave me like, you know, hang on a minute, I'll be right there. And I didn't take his cue, but he was trying to reenact the whole thing right there. And I didn't run. I'm like, oh no. And he goes, I was trying to get you to run. And I'm like, ah. And he goes, when I have a bad day or I'm having a bad week or whatever, he goes, I always watch that and it makes my day. And I'm like, oh my God.
That would have been epic if he started to reenact it and then you took off running. He's like, Tracee, and then he comes running after you. That would have been great.
I know.
But for those of you listening, if you have not watched the blooper, we'll post that on our social media page if those of you haven't seen it, because it's gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views on social media. It really is hilarious. It's
hysterical. Yeah, I remember that day. But like I said, I didn't know it was going to be turned into a, you know, all I know is he yelled, I'm doing my thing, and then he yells my name, and I turn around, and I'm like, ah, and I bolt.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. So Tracee, we have a few more things we want to talk to you about. So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more from Tracee right after this.
Okay.